Hey guys, what's up? It's good to see you again. Well, it's here. It is April 22nd, 2025, and the SRD 5.2 and associated legalese has dropped, and we're going to take a look at a little bit of that here in just a few minutes. Just a little bit of it, because I'm not going to dig through the entire SRD. That is a multi-dozens page PDF. So we're going to jump now into the boilerplate around the system reference document 5.2. But before we do that, just like to ask you a small favor. If you haven't already, please click the subscribe button and please click the bell icon for notifications, because it's the best way to find out about all the upcoming content that I've got here, whether it's a newsy video like this, whether it's one of our live streams where we deep dive a classic tabletop RPG product, or where we get together and play first edition AD&D or Gamma World for you to enjoy and be educated and informed by. You can find out about that by clicking the subscribe button and clicking the bell icon for notifications. So with that said, let's go ahead and jump into a look at the framework around the system reference document. So I've got that over here. System reference document, and I will link to this. It's real easy to find, dndbeyond.com/SRD, but I'll link to it in the post below. The system reference document contains D&D rules content you can use and reference to publish content under Creative Commons. And I should point out, this is just my opinion. I have never tried it myself personally, but I have been told by others you can actually use the SRD just to play D&D with. You can print it out, staple it in the corner, and boom, you've got a working rule set. I don't know if that's true of 5.2. I don't know if that was necessarily true of earlier versions of it. So let's continue here. The purpose of the SRD is to provide a foundation of Dungeons & Dragons content on which third-party publishers can build their products. It allows creators to reference and use the base game rules of Dungeons & Dragons in their products without the need to pay a licensing fee to Wizards of the Coast. The SRD and Creative Commons do not apply to the use of D&D content in streaming, fan art, cosplay, and other fan content. These are permitted as described in the Wizards fan content policy. And that link, what that takes you to, that's not new. They established that back in 2017. As far as I am aware, that hasn't changed. It's approaching a decade old now, and it has remained the same. In addition to the SRD and its frequently asked question, we've also established a creator fact that further details how content creators of all kinds can develop content, fan works, and other products legally with D&D IP. And again, there's the link to, you can download the SRD. Creative Commons and the DMs Guild offer different kinds of publishing opportunities. Below is an overview of the programs. And of course, it was updated today, April 22nd, 2025. See below for the SRD 5.2 fact. You can also find more information on SRD 5.1. So let's go ahead and take a look here. So if you want to develop content for a 2014 5th edition rule set for D&D, you can do that with the SRD, the OGL, and Creative Commons. You can't do it with SRD 5.2 and Creative Commons, but you can do it. You can put it out on DMs Guild. You want to develop new content for D&D 5.5, 2024, 60, whatever. You can do that with SRD 5.2, and you can put it out on DMs Guild. You want to publish your own campaign using the 2014 5e rule set for D&D. You can do that. You can't put it on DM's Guild, and you can't use SRD 5.2 to do it. New, I want to publish my own campaign using the 2024 5e rule set for D&D. You can do that with SRD 5.2, not on the DM's Guild, and not using 5.1. I want to publish content using the Forgotten Realms you can do that using DM's Guild. Note, they only mention Forgotten Realms and nothing else, which I find interesting because Greyhawk is pretty much baked in to D&D 2024, love it or hate it. And I love Greyhawk, but do I love a 5e Greyhawk? Well, I don't know about that. I want to print and sell 2014 or 2024 5th edition content on my own, and you can do that with both the OGL and Creative Commons and SRD 5.1 and SRD 5.2, which makes sense. And then it does make a note here, the asterisk by SRD 5.1. SRD 5.1 was originally published under both OGL 1.0A and Creative Commons. Going forward, all new SRD versions will be released exclusively under Creative Commons for consistency and broader compatibility. So here's a frequently asked questions. I'm not going to go through all of these. There are just a few that I'm going to touch on as they might pertain to old school D&D. So we've got the wording change on the legal disclaimer. Table of contents is all new because it's new stuff in there. Playing the game, added rhythm of play and exploration, yada, yada, yada. Character creation, classes, wording and mechanic changes, character origins. This is a 5e thing. They have backgrounds, and now they have species, Goliath and Orc. So I think Goliath, I'm not sure what Goliath entails, but Orc is, we can no longer have Orc bad guys. They're brave, bold explorers who apparently look like Mexicans, according to what we've seen. Anyway, removed half elf as a race and removed half orc as a race because Wizards of the Coast are cucks. But anyway, as these are not in the 2024 core rules, added a bunch of feats. And you guys can take a look at this and see if any of these. I have a vague recollection that Great Weapon Fighting and Two Weapon Fighting were feats in 3rd edition. The some of that I played back then, but you guys would have to tell me. Equipment, a weapon mastery is equipment. That's weird to me. Added 20 spells. This kind of brought a smile to my face. Chromatic Orb, and where was the other one? Phantasmal Force. So, there's a couple of old school spells that they've added now to the SRD. Added a rules glossary, removed between adventure section as that is not featured in the 2024 core rules because, my God, the idea of doing something between your play sessions would imply that you're going to play more than 3 times for 2 hours a shot at the local comic store, and that's not the audience that Wizards is courting. But I digress. Let's continue. 15 magic items. Cloak of Invisibility, and what was it? Potion of Longevity, Rod of Resurrection. You guys playing 5e, you'll have to tell me. I didn't know that those classic magic items were no longer part of the game. Or maybe they have been, and they're just saying you can now use them to publish stuff, but I could be wrong. They changed things. The Domped got changed to Mysterious Deck, and Orb of Dragonkind is now Dragon Orb. Come on, you guys. Just call them Dragon Balls. And then they added 17 monsters. I thought this was kind of funny. Dinosaurs are back in. Some dinosaurs are back in. And then I think that's Pterodon. So we have 3 dinosaurs and a hippopotamus. I thought that was something that had just always been there. Updated monster names and stat blocks follow the monster manual. You can reference monster conversions in Appendix B for stat block conversion from 2014 to their 2025 equivalent. And then the appendix removed fantasy historical pantheons and the planes of existence. They removed the planes of existence, guys. Holy crap, we're going to disappear. As those are not rules bearing to play 5th edition. Then why take them out? I don't know. And then they address the changing of some spell names. It's because it's our IP, guys. Why is blah, 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 not in 5.2? Some classes and species and monsters have been excluded. Their brand identity is basically what they're telling you. Can SRD 5.2 ever be revoked or changed? No. Now, guys, I just want to point something out. I'm not a lawyer. Never have been. All I can do is go through these documents and share my opinions. In the words of James Tiberius Kirk, don't believe them. Don't trust them. Remember how we assumed that the OGL could never be taken away from us? And that's how we got here? Don't believe them when they say that they can't and won't change this. Why isn't it released under OGL? Creative Commons is a globally recognized, legally stable, and community-endorsed license. Note it doesn't really say anything that the OGL wasn't that. How will the errata interact? We don't care about the errata. Localized versions. Can you use 5.1 and 5.2 in the same product? Yes, they're both available under CC. You are free to use content from either or both in your published work as long as proper attribution is provided. Can I mix? Now, this was the interesting part. This is what I really, this caught my eye. This attracts the eye, as they say. Can I mix SRD 5.2 content with older editions? Not with D&D 2014, not with 5th edition singular, with older editions. Yes, but you'll need to ensure compatibility on your own. SRD 5.2 is based on the 2024 rules, so mechanics may differ from older editions. Oh boy, do they. So basically there, and let's make sure we pump the brakes. I am not saying, yay, the SRD 5.2 lets you publish first edition AD&D or original or Holmes or Moldvay, you know, the good editions of D&D. Because it doesn't, and that's not what they're saying here. They're saying, could you use some parts of that and mix it in with the SRD? That's my reading. That's my opinion. If I'm wrong, I want to hear from you guys in the comments down below and you say, hey, that nerd isn't a lawyer. He's wrong about this. Let me know. Let me know. I can certainly stand to be educated. Can I use SRD 5.2 for crowdfunding? Yes. So that's it. And there is a creator fact over here. Are you interested in publishing your own TTRPG materials? Use the SRD to get started. If you're making something other than TTRPG content, our fan content policy might be what you need. And that goes back to 2017. What are the D&D Beyond basic rules, and is it the same as SRD 5.2? You can't use the basic rules to make your own stuff according to them here. We've kind of already taken a look at this. There's a conversion guide. Are you looking to create content using the 2014 rules or a different license? The 5.1 fact contains all the information you need. Do you want to reference official D&D books that aren't in the SRD? If you need to reference D&D content in your creative works that aren't covered by either SRD, there are different preferred methods depending on the context of your citation. And then there's all that folderol there. And I will link to the creator fact below, of course. Questions about the way the rules work, sage advice, if you want to create new unofficial stuff, so on and etc. And then, hey, follow us for more info. So that's the gist of it. If you were looking for a big announcement that Wizards of the Coast is going to just let you go out there and start publishing original D&D stuff and AD&D stuff and basic D&D stuff, it ain't in there. The last I heard was, yeah, we'll look at it. We'll strongly consider it. That's never coming. All right. Come back and clip this and make fun of me if you want to. Just give me proper attribution is all I ask. That's never coming. The people who made noises about doing it just to shut old school people up are gone. The people that they're going to replace them with aren't even going to do that. It's a non-issue to them. Right now, they're waiting for the remaining fans of old school D&D, by which I mean from like 4E back. All right? I know that might leave a bad taste in your mouth for me to say that, but that's any edition that they don't want to touch when I say old school. In reference to this, they're waiting for us to dry up and blow away or jump on their merry happy bandwagon and shut up and forget things like classic Dungeons and Dragons, so they don't ever have to touch icky Gary Gygax works again. So I would bet you, I would bet you that not a lot because I'm broke. But I would bet you that they are they're never going to address it again. It's always going to be, we're looking at it, we're considering it, who knows, maybe someday it could be it. That day will never get here. It's never coming. So I apologize if you were hoping to see or hear anything about old school. The closest you're going to get is this one right here. Can I mix SRD 5.2 content with older editions? Now, I'm not a lawyer. Don't take what I'm about to say as any kind of legal advice. Just don't do it. Go hire somebody who knows this stuff. But they say, can I mix SRD 5.2 content with older editions? They don't list a percentage, right? You could potentially put one line of SRD 5.2 rules in your old school AD&D and then send it out there and sell it and say, hey, it's on 5.2, man. I mixed old content with 5.2. Maybe you could do that and try and troll them. I don't know. I don't know. So that's all I've got to say about it, guys. No huge revelations except for that note about the SRD 5.2 content with older editions. And I don't know. I don't know that there was really any mention in the 5.1 fact. Just kind of glancing at it, I don't see it. So maybe that's their SOP. But I tell you what, I'm going to stop rambling about it. You guys tell me. Leave me a comment down below. Tell me what you think about this. Are you more legally brained than I am? Can you see any potential pitfalls or traps in here? Let me know. I would love to hear from you. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Leave me a comment down below what you think about it. If you don't like the video, give it a thumbs down. Leave me a comment below and let me know what you think about it. I may not respond to all your comments, but I do read all of your comments. Thanks everybody for watching the video. Sorry I kind of rambled on so long. And let me tell you what, if you want to continue to play classic Dungeons and Dragons like we do around here, I say just keep playing classic Dungeons and Dragons. Peace.